Hello and welcome to Mint. India is the second largest market in terms of mobile users, right after China. But India is only downloading 5% of the total downloads across the world. And I'm joined by Ruchita Saxena to discuss the issues behind this downloading and the market potential of India. Ruchita, welcome to the show. Ruchita, tell me, India is the largest market, the huge volumes, people are happy, but the downloads are not really picking up. Why is it so?
Yes, if we look at the app downloads market in India, it is very immature in terms of developed markets like the US is what experts have told us. And the main reasons behind that, for instance, there are mainly three reasons that have been highlighted by the research firm Deloitte in their report on predictions for the media technology companies in the year 2013. And these three reasons are: first, people do not understand what a smartphone is really capable of in terms of what sort of applications they can download. Second, not many people can actually afford a smartphone, and that is why they're not able to use a lot of these apps. And third, the data infrastructure in India is also not as developed. For instance, the 3G and 4G penetration in India is not high. So with lack of high-speed data, then that also affects the amount of downloads in India. Secondly, Gartner, for instance, another research firm, also says that only 15% of the total mobile users in India are actually downloading apps. So very few people are actually downloading apps, and out of the total about 800 active users, only 800 million active users, only 100 million actually have smartphones which are capable of downloading apps. So if we look at these figures, there are a lot of phone users but not so many smartphone users, and among those, 16% of them, of those smartphone users, have never downloaded a single app. So all these demographics are preventing app downloads from growing.
That's an excellent insight. But what are those app downloaders telling, app managers telling?
Yes, we spoke to app makers, and they said that in India there is a lack of support in terms of getting the right tools and getting the right environment to develop those apps. Because experts have also said that Indian consumers are like kid in a candy store. They like to download a lot of apps, but they don't stick to them. And whereas worldwide, 80% of the app downloads are just 10 to 15 top apps. Among those, the downloads happen. But in India, people use a lot of apps, but they don't stick to it, and that is why app makers are not able to generate as much traction. Apart from that, a survey by a company called Vision Mobile, a research firm called Developer Economics, suggests that none of these app makers globally, not just in India, are able to make enough money, and they live below the so-called app poverty line, which is they make less than $500 a month. So clearly, more types of models need to be discovered, and the model that most people are now following, even in India, is advertising model. For instance, Spice Labs, which is an Indian company that developed a very successful app called Hangman. It has had over 20 million downloads in the last 2.5 years. They follow the advertising model, getting 95% of their revenue, but even they say that getting revenue through advertising can be tough because of this erratic usage.
Thank you, Ruchita. There we are. Clearly, Indian application managers, makers are finding difficult to replicate the success of Angry Birds. And for more updates, please log on to www.livemint.com.